Greetings and Wu-Sabat, everyone, family and all. It has been a long time since I've provided an update, and so I'm grateful to have an opportunity to do that. I want to talk about three things with you all today. The first is Liberia, the second is the Clemency, and the third is United States litigation. As you know, many of you see things on Facebook about the Liberian Fight, and I have been involved in the Liberian Fight periodically here and there, doing different things for the brothers on the ground who need to facilitate correspondence between the Liberian government and myself, as well as Dr. York and what's going on with him in the prison. So whenever I'm called on to do anything for them, and for the Liberian Fight that they believe will help, I am definitely right there doing whatever I can. So I don't know much else about what's going on. I just hear from them periodically, and so as far as I know, all of the efforts relative to obtaining their repatriation letter are moving forward, and they're consistently meeting with government officials and different people there to help bring about that objective. And then the second thing is the Clemency. The Clemency is still pending. It's the same Clemency that I filed back in August of 2016. We have received several correspondence from the Department of Justice letting us know that the Clemency is still being investigated. It's a 7-part process. 7 phases go into determining whether or not there's going to be a recommendation for the Clemency. And of course, the last stage it gets to the president's desk. So of course that would be President Donald Trump at this time. And the fact that it's been pending for 3 years is actually a positive thing, because most of them don't go on this long without resolution. So it hasn't been denied for any administrative reasons, which several of the clemencies that had been filed in the past on Dr. York's behalf were actually denied for administrative reasons, which those reasons I won't really go into now. And so this is really the first time that the whole case has been looked at, and the DOJ and the White House have both received packages that I've sent. They actually have about 10 packages between the two of them that I've sent on his behalf, laying out the entire case and all the persuasive reasons that I felt this clemency should be granted. And now under the clemency umbrella, there's a pardon, of course, and then there's a commutation. And we've requested the commutation, which is basically time served. And there's also a misnomer about what it means to request a clemency. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're admitting to guilt. That could be a component of it. However, there are many other components, such as balancing scales or providing a sense of justice, or just, being merciful to some degree and saying, we know that there's injustices and wrongs in the system, and so let's try to fix some of that. And that's basically what clemency stands for, and that's what we filed our application under. Is this was an injustice. There was prosecutorial misconduct based on what I have seen as an attorney in my years of practice, and the fact that I've combed over the transcripts in every area of the case. There was judicial misconduct. So there were a lot of reasons that we laid out for why this is in the best interest of the entire United States for Dr. York to be released. We talked about his good works. We talked about many things that he had done prior to his incarceration, and even things that he's done since he's been incarcerated. All of those things go into whether or not the pardon attorney, which happens to be an African-American woman at this time, whether the pardon attorney agrees with my arguments and says, yeah, we want to recommend that this man be released. He's an elder. He's had many illnesses as it relates to angioedema. He has knee problems, so on and so forth. So let's release him to his family, which is, of course, what we seek with the clemency. every day, you know, we wait. It could be another day that we could hear something. So we're still really, really looking for that. And then the third, of course, is United States litigation. As everyone knows, we did file the medical litigation back around the same time that we filed the Clemency. And some people must not have seen the video because a lot of people said they didn't know what happened to it. But I did do a video when that was denied. And so now I'm just clarifying that medical litigation did get denied. The court didn't feel as though we had the proper information. They didn't feel as though we had the facts that rose to the level of granting our request for relief. So, however, sometimes in litigation, the purpose isn't always to win. Of course, we want to win. That goes without saying. But sometimes there are strategic reasons why we file litigation. And there were some good things that did come out of that. Right now, Dr. York is not in 24-hour lockdown like he was. He's still at ADX, of course, but he's under better conditions. He's able to go outside. He's able to commune with different inmates. And so his physical condition inside of ADX is definitely better. Which brings me to my next point, which is we need to file additional litigation, which is litigation against the BOP for violating Dr. York's constitutional right to association and to counsel. ADX has summarily denied me my right to visit, my right to legal correspondence, as well as my right to legal phone calls. And not only that, prior to denying me my rights as his attorney and his rights, having a right to an attorney, they also summarily denied his rights to visit with his family, which is just difficult to accept because they should not do that. You know, he's an elder. He's a person who is very social and needs his visits. And so what we need to do is we need to push back, and we need to push back now. Because without us being on the BOP and saying we will file litigation, we will let the courts know that you are violating inmates' rights. You are violating Dr. York's rights to counsel as well as to association. They're going to continue to do the things that they do. And he is going to continue to suffer. So we are asking that anyone who can and wants to support, that they support so that we can continue to fight. Is it going to be flight or fight? So I'm asking you to stand with us to fight again with the BOP and to get a result that's going to make a difference for Dr. York right now and to push back. So thank you as always for all of your support. Thank you for all the love notes that we get all the time. Amanim Hatat and myself, we are constantly honored to serve Dr. York in this capacity. And we appreciate everything that you do and everything that you are. And until next time, Wadu.